We're going to leave the algebra behind for a minute. We're going to look at the graphs. Question A is asking us to state the inverse of f of x equals 3 to the x. Well, what we know is that a logarithm is the inverse of an exponential. So in A, this would be a log base 3 of x. B is asking us to sketch the graph of the inverse. Well, in order to do that, the first thing we need to know is what does the original function look like. I'll do that in red. 3 to the x is an exponential. We know it passes through 0, 1, and 1c, so 1, 3 in this case. It has a horizontal asymptote. The graph looks something like this. In blue, I'll do the graph of the log function. To graph the inverse of a function, we have to flip-flop the x and the y of the point. So we had a point at 0, 1. That now becomes a point at 1, 0. We had a point at 1, 3. That becomes a point at 3, 1. We also need to account for the asymptote. A horizontal asymptote on the exponential would become a vertical asymptote on the log inverse. The shape of an inverse is always generally the same, so we'll look something like that. As for the characteristics of this log function, the domain and the range, well, the domain is not all real numbers like it was with exponentials. We have that vertical asymptote. So the domain x would be strictly greater than 0. Wouldn't be equal to, because it wouldn't touch that asymptote. The range would be all real numbers, because it does go up and down forever. The x-intercept is at 1. The y-intercept does not exist because of that vertical asymptote. And the equation of the asymptote is x equals 0.